Hey, this podcast holds nothing sacred. Join Alan, Marcos, and Josue. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LTS Podcast. Today, we have the big tres, the big three. Starting from the top, I have Alan.
What's going on, everyone? Thank you, Mr. Marcos. Thank you, Mr. J, for having me back on the podcast. And can't wait to jump into the conversation.
And then we have Mr. J.
Hello there.
And then I am here, Marcos. You're like, what? Hold up, this is. So yeah, shall we? How was the fourth for all of you? Out here in the podcast, Alan, Mr. J.
Mine was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. Nice little cookout. Time to relax. It was kind of hot, but yeah.
Summer.
Yeah. Oh well, someone unfortunately by the park close to where I live got erased, I guess you can say.
Oh no.
Yeah. They had a little misunderstanding, I think. Well, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but yes, someone is no longer on this earth.
Was it with a firearm, or was it with like something like a car?
No, it was with a pointy object. Sharp, pointy object.
No.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I mean, I didn't find out until like a day later, so yeah, I wasn't even aware. I wasn't even aware. But yeah, other than that, everything else was good. What did I do? I got the car windows tinted on little Mini
blue?
Cooper. No, Mini Cooper.
Understood.
Yeah. So that went well.
Isn't there any laws for tinting windows?
No, the law pertains to how dark the tint is.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but pretty much that was it, bro. I mean, nothing really crazy that I've done. For the most part, everything has been copacetic. Everything's been going well.
As it should be, you know?
Yay. What about you guys?
What about you, Mr. J?
What about you, Marcos?
Oh, damn, pass, he said. Well, for me, we had some hamburgers.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
What?
I'll go. So what happened is Marcos had some hamburgers, then he had a glizzy stuck down his throat. So someone had to do a Heimlich.
Hey, yo.
And now we're here.
Yo, I just went like...
Marcos almost choked on the glizzy.
And
he ate it too fast. He's like, oh!
Are you okay?
So are you okay, Marcos? You're the one who choked on the glizzy.
Damn.
What happened, Marcos? Explain. What was on your thought? What was on your mind? He's like, I'm about to go do a glizzy.
I'm gonna run this glizzy's pockets now.
No, you're about to be taken out by a glizzy, Marcos. What was in your mind?
No, like, what do you mean? Like,
what do you mean? The glizzy was down your throat, blocking your airway.
What did you do? Not what I did.
I'm talking about what you did. Okay, Marcos.
I had hamburgers. I had hot dogs. I had some pico de gallo. I had also some potato salad and some macaroni salad. I'm more leaning towards macaroni and pico de gallo, but my little favorite of those three salads was the macaroni.
The glizzy.
No.
Wait, how is that a salad?
It's in the name, but not in actually. You know what I mean. Is it?
But the glizzy.
A salad pertains to like chopped items, right?
No,
not necessarily, but
okay.
But yeah, no, that's weird. I'm glad that you had.
I had three different pico de gallo. Is that a salad?
Yes. Let's call that salad.
It was carb heavy. I can guarantee you that.
So you had this before or after the glizzy situation?
I don't know why you're making up these allegations about.
I don't
Mr.
make
Joe.
things up, Marcos. You tell me this. You're like, I almost got taken out by a glizzy.
What?
He's like, the glizzy had
I want the
mayo,
camera to like
ketchup,
pan,
mustard,
to zoom in slowly,
and it almost take him out.
and it just like fades.
Hold
Oh
on.
no.
Don't worry. I got you. It disappeared.
Yeah, you gone. Yeah, like that, like that. Like, what do you mean by that? No. No.
Okay. So yeah, Marcos, you're almost taken out by a glizzy today. Not today, July 4th.
It was.
You're like,
it was the fourth.
Did you light any fireworks, guys, or no?
No.
There were nearby fireworks. Can you get an eagle sound? Can you get an eagle sound, Mr. J?
I thought that was you.
No, I'm over here with the levels.
No, that was you too. They're next to levels, but no. You have to do what you have to do.
Eagle.
Oh, live.
There we go. Yes.
That's big.
And with that,
But yeah, I only had a cookout here with friends,
That's nice.
and then we had to go out and we had speakers, and all we were doing was playing this. America.
as you should.
America.
That's how you do it.
Just America. So yeah, Marcos, that glizzy almost took you out. It was like,
No,
it was your time, and you're like, no, talk to it, and just spat it out.
I fought back.
Moy had to come in with the Heimlich. He's like, no, my brother.
Do you know the way?
Basically.
But yeah, nah. After that, we just enjoyed some
After that, Marcos didn't have a second glizzy. He's like, I'm not gonna risk it.
for the biscuit.
Wait, did you guys go out besides like Mr. J? Besides going out with your friends, did you guys do anything else besides cook, like movies or anything like that?
Movies. For me, it was
Nah.
movies
Yeah.
and
No?
YouTube
Oh,
videos.
what, did you guys get a chance to look through the new movie drops from Amazon?
You shared
from
that there was
Amazon?
something
No.
coming up from Crunchyroll, I think, right?
I think so. The upcoming anime for this season. So it's pretty stacked. But the reason why I ask about the Amazon one is because it kind of made a splash or made waves, because there was I don't know how many titles or how many movies. I want to say it's like, I don't even know. I can't even like guess. But there was quite a few new releases for Amazon Prime Video, and they all seem pretty stacked because of the talent, right, or the actors or actresses that were portrayed in each movie. So I guess they were very strategic about it, where if you had the time or wanted to watch something, you would be able to watch like a good amount of content during the
This is live action.
4th of July weekend. Yeah. So they had quite a few things. I just don't remember like all the titles.
I know there was a Fallout, like live action,
Right.
brought to you by Amazon. That's only one that comes to mind. It was video game based. Right now, live action is strong, but it's not my live action. Halo, no, by HBO, I think, or Max. The Last of Us, it wasn't bad. I liked it, like a solid 8 personally.
One Piece season 2 for the live action's coming out.
Confirmed?
Yeah, they were in Cape Town, South Africa,
Cape
recording
Town.
it. Cape Town.
Cap. Nice. I like it. And what else? There was another one. I think Star Wars, right? No, I think Star Wars released something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, they released a new show. I forgot, but the main character thing is portrayed by the guy from Squid Games.
Okay. Now you already know that they're spending good money on the promotion.
Andor, there you go.
Huh? Andor? Okay, Andor.
Andor. Either Andor or the Acolyte.
Both of them
Something like
probably.
Yeah, the Acolyte.
When are we gonna get a Bleach live action?
We did, I think. Yeah, they did do a Bleach live action.
Within the recent 2020s?
Yeah, I think it was last year, summertime? Or-
2018.
there you go.
Oh, so like around the same time as Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball one,
Which one?
the live action one,
No, I think
Evolution.
I think it was
No, that's like 2006.
no. You're probably thinking of Dragon Ball like Broly movie, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Around that.
Because
time.
like it didn't stick. Did you watch it? Have you seen the live action for Bleach
No, because I think that's region blocked.
to Japan?
Yeah, I think it's only accessible if you're in
Dang.
Japan.
Dang. You know what they need though? They need more promotion worldwide. And you know how you can do that? Something that I have to share with you guys. You guys ready?
Yep.
Be careful with your ears, Alan.
Oh no, my ears.
Brace that ears. Brace that ears. And it's called Bot Farms. So when are we gonna get something like this? I was gonna say, like, when are we gonna invest? But what do you guys think? Like, I was thinking, like, I had a
Well, like invest in
delirious
what
dream
though?
about this. Like one time without running like less than an hour sleep, I was like, why don't we just farm it? Like, well, to do like content, like to promote content. And when you said about the Amazon movies, I thought about they probably pay for these services for online, for like getting it on IG, on Twitter, X.
What part of the whole video that we just watched are you trying to like solve for? Like, because they spoke
No, I'm just
about,
sharing.
No, I know, but like, what are we trying to solve for? Or what can we gather from that video besides like
That there's services out there, and then
okay. So the service that the service
promoting
is for kind of getting you like this fake
more exposure, quote unquote, because at the end of the day,
exposure. Okay.
I mean, exposure, fake or real, is exposure. And there's a game of how many people are. There's a traffic, fake or not, it's traffic. The social medias don't care if they're bots or if they're real. They should. I agree that they should.
But they only got like 2 likes, is what he said,
or
right?
2 comments.
No, they said specifically 2 likes on their comments, right?
And as an example.
So that means that it's not really working.
Yeah, but for the social media, it doesn't care. It just cares about the flow, not the quality of the comments. Just that things are flowing. What do you think?
Right. Flow.
Right, because I'm guessing that how are we going to get interaction with people that will, like our actual stuff? Like it makes no sense if it only gets pushed out because of the algorithm to like say global, top 50, or top 10 most listened to X, Y, and Z, right? But like if there's no type of interaction, then it kind of becomes redundant, even if you're there 50, because if people click on it and they don't even listen to half of what we say, right, on the like hour plus podcast that we're recording, then it doesn't really stick, right?
And there's a formula
or is it for you better for people to kind of give it like a 5-minute listen than to listen through the whole thing? Even
there's an algorithm for all that. No, but
there's like what I'm asking, right?
Okay, what is
that's what I'm asking. Is it better for them to click on and then click off regardless if they listen or not? Is that more
just
important?
To engage.
Right. Is that more important to you at that point, right? Is that more important to you, the engagement of clicking on and then clicking off because they don't care about it? Or the few people that do click on and stay for the whole, podcast? What's more important, I guess, right? That would
They're
be
both equally important.
No. You might say that on paper this looks more important, but wouldn't it be better for us to have an organic type of growth opposed to
what defines an organic growth then?
That we build up our own fan base from the bottom up? Is it
quantifiable though?
But I mean, you asking me in a fancy way doesn't make it any less redundant if we're not going to get organic growth.
I mean, you were the one asking it.
No, but what I'm saying, or what I'm asking in this case, is that comparison is using that type of service and then putting those 2 categories next to each other. You're telling me that both of them are important, but is that because we want it to be both important, or does one matter to us more than the other?
In the sense that what we always want the highest engagement of comments, all those things as a content creator. But as a social media company, what they want is clicks, time stayed in the video, or whatever content you create, song, tweet, whatever. Like you click on it, or IG, you clicked on it. Okay, that counts as a token for them as a company. But as a content creator, you want them to idealistically to stay and give a comment on our end. The business for the content creator then is to have retention beats. Okay, today we're gonna talk about this and that, or and now brought to you by XYZ. Us promoting, saying that it's gonna be about real estate, because even depending on what medium you put it, it's gonna be it's listening to you. It's actually tracking, oh, this person is talking more about technology, this person's talking about blah blah blah, and they're staying for that. The people that are clicking are staying up to that keyword. So these people, the kind of people that are listening to this guy or this group of people is tech stuff, or it's real estate stuff, or it's food stuff. So we're gonna promote naturally, if you will, to people that have those subscription things to on YouTube or on IG, versus the bot farm. If you, as the content creator again, or whatever, the movie creator, whatever, you pay for it, they're going to specifically, without a comment, just follow and direct a wave of clicks, if you will, versus irrelevant of what they say. And social media companies are not going to care, are not going to differentiate, but they are going to cater, they're going to create paths for eventually for people after the wave. Ooh, this created waves. Let's promote people to follow that wave, or that whale, if you will. And basically, like, as a content creator, you want a little bit of both. Idealistically, you want the good quality ones, but at the end of the day, you kind of need both. And bot farms is a big business that I did not see coming. I had it as a delirious dream that I talked to you guys about it, but it's not natural. That's what I was trying to say. It's not natural, but it kickstarts your business, if you will, as a content creator. And you already know what countries are. I haven't heard any. There probably is one in the US or in XYZ country. There probably are. I'm not gonna lie, but just promoting it, this video.
I think that it doesn't kickstart businesses. I think what it does is it provides a false foundation.
Yes.
And I think the drawback to that is like you get high, but then you get back down, and it's like you can't go back up there because how you got up there was false.
You gotta spend money.
Well, not that you have to spend money. It's just that you have to attract people. Mm-hmm. Because if you're paying for views, eventually that will stabilize and then go back down to where you started. I mean, he points it out where he's like, this guy gets hundreds of views on his live stream, but then gets 2 likes on his post. So I don't think they start businesses. I think it gives a false image to people, and when people realize that, it draws away natural reactions, natural people. So, and that's, I think, what they were pointing out is that for example, that Chinese streamer spending X amount of money on, electricity for the phones, the accounts, and at the end of the day, he doesn't really get that much back. He gets views, which is cool and all, but in the interaction with his posts, he gets nothing. So I think the argument of it starts businesses, I think, is false. I think it just gives a false image of there is a business.
A business on that side. So you like, hey, we do bot farms. It kickstarts.
No, like on paper.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if he turns off those phones, he will get next to no viewers. So like I said, it just provides a false image, which might be beneficial for 1 or 2 people, but I think for you to start your career in live streaming or in vlog content, basically social media is not a good way to start, because you're starting at 100 when you should be at 0 and then slowly making your way up.
Just as promoting on YouTube, you got to put out some cash. Selecting a video, you got on the back end, you got to put down some cash to promote that video, if thus the word promoting, and whatever hashtags you put.
But that's not you buying views. That's you buying a market for people to see it. So it naturally happens. It's like you buying billboard space for your business. Yes. People will see it, versus you're just paying people to write fake reviews. But then when people go into your restaurant and see how terrible it is, that will go back down. Versus you putting out billboards, seeing if people pique their interest, be like, you know what, let me go try it out, and they like it, or if they dislike it, they will put that online.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the video was trying to portray, is like, look how much resources this person is putting in for, at the end of the day, going back to what it actually is.
This was a promotion for a company that does that service.
What service though? It didn't look like a service. It looked like The
That
guy
they're
just had
promoting-
multiple. No,
That was
but
the company.
the video had this person with multiple phones, multiple accounts, because they even say it themselves, and that's what he's using to fill up the gaps in his live stream. He
So
didn't say anything, but he didn't say anything about services. Now, if that's the context behind it, I guess so.
That's a company, blah 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 LLC, over there in China, that they promote that if you pay a certain amount, we'll send this entire wave of phones to your content, so that there's more clicks, if you will. And that's what they can guarantee a certain amount to promote to quote unquote increase your clicks, if you will.
Increase your clicks or just create fake views?
Correct. Clicks, fake views, no comments, just pure clicks and fake views.
So yeah, so I
It's
think back
inorganic.
to what they say in the video, it's inorganic.
It's
And at the end of the day, it will stabilize and you're back to that 1 or 2 likes on your post. Versus if you do it naturally, how most people do it, it will be stable. Because that's the only issue is that, and that's what people have problems nowadays, trying to stay relevant to what's the here and now.
Like either is there a formula for that? I want to say that
because it's very much spontaneous. It's whatever is available.
What do you think, Alan? Being spontaneous and being the trendsetter, or just buying some fake clicks and views?
I think we were asking the wrong question, and that was my whole point when I was asking you from the jump. This artificial, inorganic way of going about things doesn't really do anything for you in the long run. I think what Josue said in the beginning was spot on. I think this artificial inflation that you see right there, because you have, and this type of bot farming or whatever the case was,
Bot farming service.
Yeah, it's nothing new. We've seen this before, and it's been going on for a long time already, whether it be for views, for likes, or for just making it seem like you have a lot of followers.
Was it do you think it was around since before MySpace or after MySpace? In your opinion?
In my opinion, I have no clue, but it could be like in and around that time frame.
Yeah.
But essentially, I think, again, to Mr. J's point, I think doing that, on top of it being a waste of money, personally, I think it's a waste of money. You don't really get, like, short term, it might seem a way to you, or it might seem a certain way for, I don't know if it might seem a different way or something of value for a company like a YouTube or a Spotify or whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you really don't have those viewers or that actual amount of people following you, then it becomes redundant. It doesn't really, again, it deflates and you're left with only those 2 likes because it's only, 2 people that actually follow you and mess with you, right? But I wouldn't personally think of this service as something, as a net positive to anyone's business, let alone their career. I think that's a big a big lie when it talks about, or if you're implying that it starts up somebody's career in social media. I think
Fake it till you make it, LLC.
I wouldn't even say fake it till you make it. I think it's a waste of money at the end of the day, because you don't really retain. There is no retention, because as soon as you stop paying that service, the retention's gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a subscription then.
I think at some point, a lot of the social media companies are going to be smarter on the uptake on what they're going to use as benchmarks for their algorithm to start, making sure that if they're paying you, if a social media company is paying you for anything, they'll have certain metrics and benchmarks that you really need to fulfill, and they're going to be wiser about these type of bot farmings, of whether it be views or fake likes or fake interaction or whatever the metrics are, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think more than anything else, if you have crap type of podcast or video, and you pay for that crap video,
you put in crap, what do you get out?
Like, say you half-ass a podcast for half an hour,
Yeah.
and then you pay this type of bot farm for the views or likes or interaction. Say that company picks it up and says, "Oh, look, this person or these people have X amount of views or interaction or likes. Let's put them in that list where it's easier for other people to pick up, because people might like it." And then when people start clicking on it, then the only organic type of likes, or in this case, the only type of interaction you probably will get is negative interaction. Because then the people that actually take the time to listen to it, and they're like listening, like, what kind of crap is this?
Fake. What? Yeah.
Right. It's like they must have bought their views or bought their likes or bought their interaction. This is poop. I don't want to listen to this, and I would hope no one else would want to listen to that. So I think that would probably be the double-edged sword in that case. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think
you reminded me of something over here that I recently posted in the squad chat. Check. Ready? Brace your ears, Alan. Brace your ears. Like bots and AIs, man. It's not only the quantity but the quality now.
But even then, I think that's a little bit different, though. I think that whole video that you just presented right now is still even more of a curveball, because up until now, I think the only thing AI what we've kind of messed with has been like making a list, right, of topics of certain things.
Personally, yes.
Right. So I don't think that we can really say, oh, because of AI, it's kind of like throttled our podcast or anything for that matter. For personally, into the future with any real like merit or anything that would be considered of significance. I would say AI is helpful for us because it helps us kind of gather our notes and make it into a list, but I don't think it's really done something fantastical or something otherworldly where we're like,
it's
oh my goodness,
what we do.
Yeah, because we really don't have much, we don't have many levers to like pull to try to get this thing or get the podcast going. It just seems to me, again, that video with that certain twang of, this is what they're focused on about AI and whatnot.
Yeah, they were saying don't be scared of it.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's...
But that is the whole premise of that video, and I don't think that has much to do with the previous video where they're talking
quality?
about bots.
Quality versus quantity, and the other one is you just putting in extra steps right now in the context of game creation. That's what that we're talking about.
Right, but again,
overtraining. I never thought that was actually a thing for AI, but the more you know.
Again, I would suggest people probably listen to Mr. J and something he had said earlier in a previous episode back in the day, where he was explaining that, to be quite honest, what we considering AI isn't really AI, because a computer isn't really thinking for itself in an autonomous way. It's basically just an algorithm that's working really fast and using things like, I guess you can say, search engines to basically search up and look up all the information that you're looking for, and then just quickly, making it into something useful for the person that's asking, right?
A prompt, if you will.
Right. So you're prompting it for it to do something that you needed to do because you don't want to do it. So I think that, to Mr. Josue's point, I think that that's what where we're at as far as what people would consider AI, which again, it's not really,
even true AI.
Yeah, it's not really true AI. But again, people, it makes it sound more elevated than it really is, or more advanced than it really is.
They're faking it.
And well, again, they have the money to fake it. Us, unfortunately, we don't.
But
Right.
for example, would you prompting is instructions, right? Somebody had to teach the vocabulary. Somebody had to say this, give them a cookie to say this is correct, this is incorrect, so we could learn from it. So an AI off the top of my head is an accumulation of lessons that it gained.
I don't
and
think
conclusions.
so. I don't think so, Marcos. I think there are parameters set where the algorithm operates between, and overstepping the perimeters is something that the algorithm isn't allowed to do. So it kind of basically draws inside the lines. And I don't think that the machine or the computer that is going through all those calculations or algorithms it can really think for itself. I think it's just, this is what I'm told to do, this is what I'm doing, these are the parameters that were set in place, and I'm going to draw in the lines and work inside the lines. There might be a couple of hiccups where maybe it spits out something it's not supposed to because there's a certain prompt that wasn't, fully fleshed out. Maybe that's what it is. But up till now, I don't think that there is anything at what we could call true AI. But I mean, I could be totally wrong. Mr. J, I will defer the further information to you.
We'll pass them the talking stick.
Right? Or Marcos, if you have any info on that, maybe I'm wrong and you have something that you...
I have one story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's military based. Obviously, take that with a big bucket of salt. They were
Right.
saying, it could be even promotion, like you were saying. They were saying that they were doing some in this specific module. They were giving them instructions of, you're going against this individual, which is another person, right? It was like a war simulator in this computer game. And they were saying, okay, you gotta get to these bases to win the game. And everyone had communication nodes, all those things, like large scale of army versus army. And the human was following the instructions, doing that, and the AI, quote unquote AI, was doing the same thing. But they were noticing that they were being more efficient if they were not only fighting the army node, if the military node, but if they intercepted the communications. The human understood that and repositioned its places, right? But the AI noticed that it made it more efficient for the human counterpart, repositioning its armies, if you will, or its soldiers, if you will, just to optimize, to get the back communications, versus the AI was able to, like a chess game, was able to move forward, and bit by bit take out the soldiers or the regiment, whatever, bit by bit. And they noticed that they didn't even have to fight that much versus taking out communications. And then the engineers again re-instructed, do not take out the communication lines. Okay, so then we're just not gonna fight. You didn't give us a time limit, so we're gonna go around and notice that we're not gonna lose that many if we just avoid. Like, it was doing shenanigans. And long story short, if you didn't give them instructions, they will resort to, in that sense of quote unquote AI. Again, could have been a promotion. I don't have the link on me right now. I didn't share it. It's a long video, but I just found it that maybe the military is promoting their stuff without telling us that they have stuff. I know that they have allegedly a service. I think I have it over here on the notes, but it's a long video called Skyboard, and it's a long video. But that's another subject. Something else. Jose, any input? Any ideas?
Do you know the way?
No. Is there such thing as something called as overtraining?
Yeah, I think I've talked about it here.
Okay. Now, is what we know of AI, so it's just pure marketing right now for the public, Mr. J?
What do you mean by that?
Like saying that apps. I don't have an app. I do have an app.
No, like saying that artificial intelligence is actual artificial intelligence, where it's like
available right now in apps to the public.
Right, where people are thinking that it's actually autonomous.
ChatGPT, yeah. Like a ChatGPT, is that just a like a chat box, or is it actually AI?
No, I think it's just now a chat box. I think the most complex thing you can do is create image based off of a prompt.
And you've seen the images that I've created, Mr. J. And Alan. You guys seen the prompting that I've given it.
But yeah, I think Alan referenced when I said it when I said this is sort of like a pseudo AI, where it's like you give it a prompt and it spits out an answer. It's not really. This is hence why it needs training, because it needs some kind of background information. It's not like when I go up to you and be like English or Spanish or something like that, or like something spontaneous where you have to like give an immediate answer. I think for the most part, I think if someone goes to be like, what's 2 times 2? You could be like, 4. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like something like that. Maybe this based off of prior knowledge, but I mean, what AI can hold as prior knowledge is very limited to what we can handle, because we can handle, for the most part, what we remember all the way back to a certain age, versus AI can only hold like a few gigabytes of information at
It's
most.
quantifiable. Okay.
That's why now it's cool what AI can do, but it's very limited on what it can do. Like I think on the video, like in the video that Marco shared, is like the AI can create code, but if it doesn't work, then you're gonna have to need someone in between to kind of fix it. Versus if someone just writes the code, made themselves, they can fine tune it, test it, and at the end of the day, you'll probably be spending the same amount, if not more, on the chat or the AI than just giving it to someone, be like, hey, I need this by a certain time.
Damn. So right now,
but yeah, I think right now AI is it's like the beginning. It's like we're scratching the surface before AI.
It's starting somewhere, you mean? But how do you do you want everyone wants to jump in on a mature project, but I mean, who's gonna be in the trenches at the beginning, digging the first path, like marking the first path, even if it's bad or sloppy? Like nobody wants to be that person, that person, the trailblazer, if you will. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying
I don't think it's that no one wants to do it. I think is someone's gonna come up with the idea and then start it. Like with Facebook and social media, it wasn't the fact that nobody wants to do it. It was just that nobody was thinking like that until someone
MySpace
did.
was there though.
No, but like same thing is like nobody thought of this until someone did, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is a great idea," and it exploded. So it's not a fact of no one wants to do it. It's more or less a fact of someone has to come up with it for there to be a start.
Was there a predecessor to YouTube by that matter then?
For videos, no.
There you go. That's an example right there.
For videos, I think YouTube. I mean, I think MySpace handled videos, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah, because you had to go to your wall, if you will, or whatever your space, and whatever video you uploaded, meaning the traffic had to go to you directly, versus a channel and whatever content or subcategories you can have, and you can nowadays put in some hashtags, or the algorithm from YouTube could promote your nowadays with ad revenue. Whatever you're talking about, you could be talking about house sales or finance, and like they'll put in ads as you're making that vocabulary, which is self-sustaining for the company. It's at a loss still, don't get me wrong, but it has the billboard for the companies to put in ads. I don't know how IG does the formula of the ad algorithms, or Twitter. I don't even know MySpace or Facebook by that point. But it's just I'm losing myself. I'm trying to say that someone has to do it first, right? Even though we're criticizing it as sloppy and expensive for a company that could bankrupt you, someone's got to do it first. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I want to say. Anything else? Do you want to talk about something else, Alan or Mr. J?
I mean, you can pick from the list.
Let's see. Go for it. Which one would you want?
Let's see.
Earth passed the asteroid vibe check. Oh no.
Oh, this reminded me of something.
The tablets, yeah?
I was gonna say about number 21. So Super Size Me creator dead at 53.
Yes.
I was gonna say, do you guys remember when you saw that movie for the first time?
The original movie? Yes.
Yeah, the documentary, the Super Size Me.
The doctor was saying, how is your heart? Like, they were saying, I wouldn't recommend this to everyone.
Right.
His primary physician.
Yeah, when he wanted to tackle on this endeavor of eating nothing but McDonald's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 30 days for a month.
And a diet drink, I think.
Whatever the case was, that was horrible. Yeah, he felt super sick during the whole process. But again, this wasn't his first documentary where he was doing something, maybe not crazy, but yeah, something out of the ordinary. For
pocket,
him,
maybe?
For him, because there's plenty of people that probably do live that type of lifestyle where they eat nothing but fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But he did it just to show how unhealthy it really is. Unfortunately, he died from cancer. Not sure. I think it was cancer. And I'm not sure what type it was, but RIP to him. The reason why I mentioned it more than anything else is because I remember watching this video while I was in school. It was part of I want to say it was either something that had to do with physical education class or something that had to do with I don't know if it was like English class or something like that. But point is, I was watching the video and I was stunned at what I was watching. In fact, this man put that type of stress on himself in order for him to share the fact that this wasn't the healthiest thing, right? And more than anything else, I think what we could gather from that is that that the United States as a whole has a very huge problem, if you will, with being one of the most obese and unhealthiest nation, in the world, and it's very, very odd and very concerning. Being that, I think that it used to be where the United States was a nation of people that knew what hard work was, and they were out and about and were relatively in shape because you had to be. That's not the case anymore, and I think now 2024, I think the only country that beats us in obesity is China, if I'm not mistaken, and Mexico is right there behind us. I think it's either 3 or 4. But it might have switched up. But yeah, we're still up there. We're pretty high on the list. And the only reason I do remember this, also, I did want to share that. On a lighter note, let's.
But you're saying just measuring weight, meaning like they bought their own Happy Meal, if you will, right? For good or worse, they bought it at the end of the day.
What do you mean?
Like the obese part, right?
Oh, as in him shedding light on.
No, just the obesity on the country, just on the concept of the country. Okay, are we gonna relate obesity with not prosperity? Oh, an ability to purchase the Happy Meal, not going to hunt it. I understand that. I totally understand that. Or are you gonna compare it to, like you said, China, who has like a 3-to-1 population to the US, like 1 billion. I'm surprised they didn't get obese earlier, but we know why. Now, you're not comparing it to England, right? Who's up there, I think, in obesity as well.
Right.
Who else? Unfortunately, it's connected to the level of the economy of the country. Like if it's a first world country, it's gonna have more options.
I don't think that's the issue, and I think.
What is the issue that you were trying to point out?
I think the issue here is the type of crap food that we eat is due to the fact that companies are trying to make a buck off of us. So I think it's a vicious cycle, right? So the vicious cycle starts with you having a lackluster type of diet. So you automatically choose the fast food, which is composed of crap ingredients that normal humans shouldn't be eating. Or even like if animals don't eat it, like if you've noticed there's I think there's people that have taken McDonald's and other type of fast food burgers and left them in their box, in their original packaging for years, and that food doesn't rot. It doesn't.
That little apple pie.
It doesn't decompose.
Yes.
It doesn't even disintegrate. It just stays there still, and it kind of makes you think, what the hell type of ingredients are in the food that make it for it to stay that way? And what does that do to your body if you're consuming that type of garbage, right? And again, this is based off what was in the documentary. I suggest people watch it if you haven't, right? So it's
on Hulu, I think.
You were right. I think so, yeah. I think it's on Hulu right now.
Yes.
So this is the whole premise of the video of why, the who, what, where, when, and why type of questions that he asked because of what's going on around in the nation, where you see a level of obesity that's never been seen before, and it's just getting worse. So the vicious cycle, back to it, is that you eat a poor diet. A poor diet means that you get sick more often, or get sick in such a way that it's a chronic sickness. So now you're going to the doctor. The doctor puts you on drugs that are prescribed, right? These doctors are prescribing you these type of drugs because they get financed, or they get their hand from the pharmaceutical companies. These pharmaceutical companies are the ones that are putting you on these type of drugs, and you have to take these drugs forever. So it basically does that twirl around, right? So because you have to spend all your money on these types of drugs so you can feel better, you don't have money to go probably buy ingredients to make yourself an actual healthy meal. So you end up eating again the same type of crap food that made you sick in the first place, but you don't acknowledge or equate or even connect the dots of understanding probably that's probably what's getting you sick. So you in turn eat that food again, it makes you sick again, and you continue buying that type of medicine for you to stay relatively alive, right? Or healthy, right?
Yes.
So that's the vicious circle that I'm talking about, because you're in that loop, and unless you start making those changes in your life that will get you off of the cheap food, where you're actually eating proper meals, your body will in response, right, hopefully, if it's not too far gone, will start making the adjustments, because you're actually giving it proper nutrition, and you start feeling better.
And there's an example right now.
And you can get
Because,
off
like-
of those pharmaceutical drugs that are getting you even more sick, because the problem with those pharmaceutical drugs is that they have secondary effects, right? So these secondary effects, and you see it, right? We're one of the of all the countries in the world, around the world, there's only 2 countries that are allowed to actually promote commercials on TV and radio and XYZ of the drugs that you can buy from pharmaceutical companies.
Which
Only, which are the United States and I believe New Zealand. So these are the only 2 countries where the pharmaceutical companies are allowed to actually promote and sell you drugs.
Yes.
And at the end, right, the little disclaimer where they like blurred it out real fast and like in tiny print at the end, right? It's like, these drugs may harm you with secondary effects, right? Where it's
they
bleeding,
fast, yeah.
right? Bleeding, stomach ulcers, and diarrhea, vomiting, blood pressure shooting up, a heart attack, and in worst case, death. Right? So those are the risks of taking these type of medicines, but because the doctor told you, right? Now, unfortunately, not every doctor is there for your benefit or for your well-being. They're there to do a job because they've been reduced to doing this type of dirty deed for the pharmaceutical companies, because that's just how the system is set up right now. And unfortunately,
Now, an example, like for example,
Give me a
pulling
sec,
back
give me a sec,
to
give me a
food.
sec,
No,
give me a
because
sec.
you're losing. You're. What's the point in this part? Like you're losing the thread here.
oh, okay, Marcos, go ahead then. My
No,
bad.
pull it back. Like what's the end point here?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Because like I was losing, like you were saying, from McDonald's to pharmaceuticals to that's the current system. This
Nah.
system is from where? From the government or from the companies of McDonald's, or from where?
What I was explaining is that vicious circle. But again, if that was too much on my behalf, I apologize.
Because for example, we can always compare like the McDonald's from China, from McDonald's from there's a standard, and that's the I think that's, I don't want to say it's a curse. It's that's the only thing that comes to mind. Curse of being a first world country. You were able to globalize it and standardize it. So, for example, compare a McDonald's from Kenya, compare a McDonald's from Nigeria, from Venezuela, from Mexico, from England, from Russia, from South Korea. Like there's a standard in the hamburger that you're able to transport it. Sometimes not even cook it in that country, and it's still the same. It's still the same poison, if you will, or trash. But they have the choice to eat it at the end of the day. And now weren't we talking about it on the last recording, that even fast food isn't even that of an option nowadays. So less people are even going for that nowadays, that they're going back to cooking their own thing, or is there more options now?
You're asking me?
Yes.
No, so those are 2 different things. Basically, what's happening now is because the economy is so bad, everything's shooting up in price because of inflation. There's articles coming out now that are suggesting that fast food is a luxury item or a luxury food because it just got so frigging expensive. So a lot of people that would probably have or used to have the discretionary income to go buy fast food are less likely to eat fast food now, and probably are out buying groceries more often and making food at home. That's what we were talking about last time. What I was explaining now is the cycle, I guess you can say the trickle down effect of what happens when you are consuming fast food, where to the point where you're getting drugged up by the pharmaceutical companies because they
Is that
can
a
make
symptom of a first world country then?
quick buck off of you. I would say yes and no. I would say yes because obviously companies are going to try to make money off of you. Best way they know how to is create the problem and create the solution at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So as far as first world countries and third world countries or anything in between, I think your proposition, no, not proposition, but your point of view of fast food in other countries compared to this country, I think it's bad all around. It's the reason why it's called fast food, right? It's the reason why they try to put a price point to it where it's cheap, because they're not using the best quality ingredients, even though they like to say that in their commercials and the way they portray it and the videos that they show you, right, for the commercials. They try to portray their food as high quality, but when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, I mean, no one likes to see the way the sausage is made, basically, right? So
It's a very nasty thing, guys.
right, so it might not be the best thing. Where opposed to, I mean, the counter to it is you actually going buying your ingredients, making your food, and enjoying your food. That's that. I guess you could say that's the whole difference. But I think the reason why the video or the documentary was so powerful is because a lot of these learned, habits are something that you pick up on when you're young, when you're small.
Impressionable.
Right. So the way he was explaining is like, if they got you from a little kid, they have you until you're a grown up. And then
McDonald's with the Happy Meal nuggets.
right. So the vicious circle or cycle goes back. You have kids with your family, right? With your wife and your kids, and then you go and take them, and you have that vicious cycle going in a circle. So that's the whole thing that he was explaining, and I thought that was very eye-opening when I saw the documentary the first time. And but again, like you said, Marcos, reeling it back in, the reason why I also kind of giggle at the same time, because something that I saw maybe 2-3 days ago, where McDonald's has their latest what's it called, collaboration with
who?
with Jujutsu Kaisen and their new.
Can you share? Is it possible to share the screen?
I think it's on IG. I don't have it on.
Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna do some research. Keep talking. I'll do research. All right.
So I think they're doing a black sesame aioli or sauce for your nuggets for Jujutsu Kaisen and McDonald's. But again, this is what kind of made me think about it, because I saw that collab on one of the videos. Let's see if I can find it and share it again. Curses, I send you guys too many videos.
Found it. Found a
Got
little 1 minute video. Sharing. Ready?
Yes.
Oh, you have it there. I'll share it too now. I'll show you the link. That way you can share it. Copy.
Hey there, Marcos here. This marks the end of part 1. Join us next week for part 2, where Alan, Mr. J, and myself continue on these awesome stories. Remember to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And if you want to toss a coin to your podcaster, a link for our coffee page will be in the description. So, much obliged. From the bottom of my heart, stay frosty.